And we are live on the Live Master Showcase. I am your Live Master, Mike Chavez, and welcome to Live Masters TV and Live Master Showcase. We have an incredible guest today, or at whatever it is in the world that you're tuning in from. We are both in the fabulous city of Las Vegas. Who is we? It's Thomas Fuji and myself. And so Thomas is an incredible entrepreneur. I've got to know him over the last 6 months or so. He really helps homeowners figure out solutions for their properties with systems that can help them take power and ownership in their homes. And he's going to let people know about how that can help them and people they care about. So without further ado, Thomas, is that a pretty good description of how you like to show up?
That's pretty much, yeah. You know, it's all about helping the people with their situations they have with their real estate. You know, so what I do is I try to help them out with various solutions so they can get out of that situation and live the rest of their lives stress-free, without headaches, worrying about their houses and what they're going to do the next day. How long is it going to keep on going this way? You know, so I try to help all these people with the various solutions I have so they can alleviate all those situations, I guess. Yeah.
So, awesome. So you live in Las Vegas. You have a young family, and
Yes.
that's kind of, we connect that way. I have a young family as well, and we're
Yeah.
entrepreneurs working from home, doing our thing. So, how could you share a little bit about the origins of how it is that you got involved with real estate and the ability to help other people figure out solutions with the
Yeah.
properties?
That's a good point. So, um, it's kind of a sad story how I started this, but back in 2018, my father passed away,
Mm,
and um, he lived in Southern California, about 10 minutes away from downtown LA, in a city called Montebello, which is right
mm,
close to Monterey Park off the 60 freeway. And um, his mom, my grandmother, bought the condo back in like the early 70s, and they never did anything with it. So when he passed, it was left to me, and I just didn't know what to do with it. You know, am I supposed to rent it out, renovate it, sell it, keep it as a vacation home, you know, and keep on paying all these HOAs and utilities with the money I don't really have, you know? So I was one of those individuals that had a distressed property. And after about a year, I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and renovate it. Let's sell it, and let's see what we can do with this place. So it finally finished up and sold last January or last December, and that's when I, myself and my wife, basically decided to, hey, let's take a leap into this real estate stuff and see what we can do. You know, we did the
mm.
condo, you know, and made a little profit. So let's see uh, how, if we can make a good life out of it. You know, so um, we started investing ourselves with real estate education, and started networking, and that's how we that's how basically Property Solution Systems was born. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you said it's a sad story, but then on the other hand, it just goes to show that there was a problem, right? That you needed to find a solution for, and you figured it
exactly.
out. Right. The best way
Yeah.
now that you're able to you figured it out, and you knew what it's like. You know what it was like to, you literally are putting yourself in other people's shoes, and I can relate because I feel the same way. I mean, when you feel there's a need there and you know you can help someone, you have that moral obligation to really help people and tell them about your
Yeah.
services and how they can help, because I didn't really know exactly how the process worked and the kind of trouble that people can get in with their homes and how you can come in and help. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's I guess part of the experience that I had, I guess, and knowing that experience, what I felt made me a kind of wanting to help other people with that same situation. So it was heartfelt, you know, heartfelt, kind of driven type deal that made me want to help other people that had that same similar situation, maybe different situations or something like that. But yeah, my own experience made me want to branch out and help other people with similar situations, and there's other people like that want to help people with those situations so they don't have to go through it by themselves, and have that guidance and education to move forward in their lives without, I don't know what's the word, just staying in that one area zone, I guess. I don't know, but in that area, and just staying there, not knowing what to do. So it's all about helping people and building those relationships with them so they can trust you, and so they can allow you to help them, basically.
Right. So now you went through this live video challenge that we had in our group,
I did.
and
Yeah.
I know that you're doing videos. You were doing videos before the challenge. You started. I think you might have done one or two Live Masters, and then you did some in Pono Quest, and you're working in networking. So tell me what it's been like for you to pivot to social media with your experience, your background, your life experience. What has that been like for you to pivot and connect now online and actually do videos and share your insights with people and teach people what you know?
Well, at first it was kind of nervousness a little bit, I guess, and I just wanted to get out there and just start breaking the ice. I didn't know where to go. This is before I even knew about Live Masters, and I saw this live button. I'm like, hey, what's this? I mean, it just make me go live or something, So I tried it out, and just talked about something. I can't remember what it was, but I just decided to go live one day, and just started from there. And then once I met you guys, and Trenton and everything, knew about the Live Masters Challenge, it kind of broadened the content, I want to say, with more valuable content to discuss the way I think about things and what I've experienced to share with everybody, so it kind of helps to educate. And now it's a little bit more comfortable, doing the Live Master Challenge. It's a little bit more comfortable to do Live Masters. Like yesterday, I went live on Live Masters and talking about negotiations, and because right now I'm dealing with a single lady out in Montebello, ironically, who has a house out here in Las Vegas. I'm trying to help her currently with her situation with this house out in North Las Vegas. So it's that's what made me start going live yesterday was, it's negotiations, so how are you going to negotiate with the people that you're trying to reach or that contacted you or whatever, so I start talking about, some of the techniques I use, and it's called spin selling, situation, problem, implication, and need payoff, and that's the process I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, it's taking a little bit longer because she's sick right now. So I have to, abide by her and feel accommodating with what she's going through right now. I just don't want to go in there and push everything on her right then and there, and that's not right to do, so I'm just kind of taking it easy with her right now and continuing on when she feels better. So, but yeah, going live now is more comfortable, bringing my true self out, with trying to do original content with what I know and what I'm trying to portray out into my Property Solution Systems Facebook group or my business page or even my personal page, to reach out to my friends. Hey guys, what are you guys doing? Let's go for a ride or whatever, so, but yeah, it's a growing experience and I thank you for it.
Yeah, it's really cool. Cause you and I actually met, I mean, this through Trenton, you were involved in a real estate networking, community, a local community here in Las Vegas. And that's where we actually met you and we stayed connected to you and then just invited you in. And, it's been really cool. I don't think social media is absolutely incredible. It's a tool. Like, I think I was just watching Trenton just talk about this. You have to learn how to meet people in other ways besides social media. Even with what's going on, there's still ways that you can meet people in person. And, people are still meeting in small groups of people right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait for things to really get back to normal where we can really gather in larger groups, because it's really amazing the energy and synergy that you feel when you're in person with a large group of people. At the networking that we met, there was probably like 70 people or something like that. There maybe to 100. It was kind of a cool little small gathering, intimate, but we were learning about real estate, and that's where I met you. And it was pretty cool. It's been cool.
Yeah, definitely it was.
Videos as well.
It was at the Alexis Park, and I can't remember who the speaker was, but yeah, it was a good time networking and learning different strategies or whatever it was, and meeting new people and meeting you and Trenton. It was a great few hours that night. Yeah, definitely.
Right. So, and what's really cool about being a true networker, I really consider myself a true networker. I know Trenton does, and I know you are really considering yourself to be a true networker as well now, because I think a true networker embraces the fact that it's not necessarily me meeting you or me connecting with people right now that are in the comments. I see KD, I see some other people that are here watching live, right? It's the people, it's the people that you connect down the line, right? So, like, for example, you got to meet Rick, right? And you got to develop a relationship with Rick and Steve, and learn about some projects that you're really excited about, that you're working on there too. And it, it kind of ties into what you're doing with the real estate now too, because you've entered into the solar market, right?
I have. Yes, I have. That is correct.
Yeah.
And that was all done through networking. So, I met Rick through you, basically, and that relationship just expanded. Not really expanded, but just grew really quick, and we get along very well, and it's all about helping each other out. So he wanted to know if I needed help, and and I'm like, well, there's this going on and everything like that, and he's like, well, hey, let's chat sometime, and so we started chatting, and that chat lasted like 2 to 4 hours one day. First it was on Facebook, and then it was on an actual phone call, and man, we both just felt empowered, and from there it went into, hey, I have this opportunity, I'd like to show it to you, and it could do this for you, and all that. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested. What's this opportunity, and it's about solar power. And so I now have solar panel on my house, and we're about to get it finished up as far as inspections and everything. But now I'm part of that power network, that power solar, and I decided to go that route to join that particular area to scale the Property Solution Systems brand and what we do with real estate. So it's kind of a property solution, so it's kind of related to each other. So I'm like, it's a great relationship, so solar, property solution, helping people with their real estate, property solution. Let's get it together, let's scale this thing. So
yeah, I believe in solar so much. It is, and the funny thing is, you live in Vegas, and that it was just what was it, like 4 years ago, that Nevada Energy, right? The state-owned power company had a monopoly. Right. Solar wasn't allowed here in Nevada, or what, right? Or Vegas, or what, like that, right? So now it's a wide open market. Like it was crazy, and because they know the power of solar, and it's I believe in that too. Yeah. So
it's good, so
it makes sense
to help other people.
Yeah, especially when people understand when they sell their house. If you have solar panels in your house, that definitely is going to increase the value of your home too, right?
Yeah, it will. It all depends on the house, but roughly, 20 grand, maybe, give or take. It's hard to say though. I mean, but yeah, it will increase the value. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about communities. If you're watching this, folks, live or on the replay, Thomas, I mean, I'm sure you could expand on this a little bit more. It's about getting in different communities, right? Because you got in Live Masters, and then you got in Pono Quest of Rick, and then social media investors. And it's kind of like, these different communities and tribes. It's almost like you kind of get these virtual coaches and courses and trainings because people are giving away so much value. So how many different communities do you think that you're plugged into right now?
Oh, that's a great question, Mike. Wow. On the little box when I go to the group section, it says 30 plus. So
Okay.
there's quite a few different real estate communities I belong to. Some are private, some are public. Other ones are Live Masters, like you mentioned, Pono Quest, social media investors, dealing with a few different networks for solar coach, solar coach sales or something like that. I can't quite remember, but that's with Rick and Steve as well, and small business owners. So it's basically dealing with a business and entrepreneurship, but it's also about getting the community out in the public as well. So I'm also, Property Solution Systems is also in the Facebook group called Locals Love Vegas or something like that. So we're starting to go into the community groups as well, instead of the entrepreneurial and the real estate and solar groups, so we can get into the community more, to reach out to the community more, to show the brand and educate more in the community as well. And what the Property Solution Systems group is focusing is improving communities and helping families out. And one way to do that is to go out there in the community and start introducing yourself and educating and showing other people what's out in your community, and I started doing that. And one of the first areas I went to was this place in Centennial Hills called The Farm, and did a little live video of me and the family walking around the little farm area, and did the little farmers market there and everything like that. So that's one way that we're going to start going out in the community, is going out to the small businesses that actually need support by the community, and showcase that on our Facebook page, our community page, I should say, and kind of start educating people with other real estate content, solar content, things like that, to start educating and showing that that outreach process, I guess. So.
Well, that is really the best way to network, is to reach out to other businesses and say, hey, listen, we kind of maybe do something similar. There's no competition and collaboration, right?
Exactly.
And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are intimidated to reach out to other people that are in their niche, right? And I'm realizing, as I develop as a leader, that the bigger vision, the bigger dream, and the bigger picture that I want to paint for people, I can't reach to the top to paint the picture that I truly want alone. You know what I mean? I have to have a firm base of quality people behind me, underneath me, supporting me, right, to paint the masterpiece. So it's all about the right kind of people, and surrounding yourself with it and creating that team culture. And it's
exactly.
And I have this philosophy now, since I've been able to build a culture with our community Live Masters, right? Those same philosophies, the core principles of integrity and honesty and transparency and authenticity, can correlate into any business or any venture that you want. You just have to treat people the same way. It's that simple.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it, at least,
No, that's a good way to look at it, and I agree with that approach. That's something that a lot of entrepreneurs should look at it. Start going that route instead of, it's about me. It's about me winning all this money, and it's not all about that. It's all about helping the people, building those relationships, and kind kind of making that grow from there,
Yeah.
because once you start doing that, things will start coming to you.
Yeah.
And it's
Exactly.
all about that love. It's all about that love, Mike.
Yeah, love the intention, right? If you have the intention to help other people without expectation, it's intention without expectation. Think about that for a second, right?
Yeah.
Because expectation becomes premeditated resentment. If you have all these expectations, it can, be resentful, right? In a relationship. So, especially when you're networking, I really just like to get to know people, and it takes time to build trust. And that's the power of this right here, Thomas. This is what we're doing. We're building trust. Consistency builds trust. That's why I do this every day. Not just to build trust for you that are watching this, but to build trust in myself, to know that I can do this. And if I can do it, so can you. Thomas is on a live video journey now. And I know you got the bug, Thomas. I know you do. Right? You get thoughts and you start thinking about stuff and you go, man, I can share this. This would be something good. And then you just have this video vlog. How many videos do you think you've done now, Thomas, since you've started? Would you say, throw a number out there? Because I know you've done quite a few.
Since I started, I've probably done about 15, probably.
Oh, you've done more.
I haven't been counting. I haven't been counting, actually. I mean, I've definitely done 7 so far.
Well, you've done 7 in Live Masters, but I know you've done some in other groups. I've seen you doing them on your page. I've seen you doing them. You show your bikes, your motorcycles, your beautiful bikes. That's what's cool. That's what's cool about social media. You love motorcycles. I love motorcycles. I got in a motorcycle crash. You've laid your bike down before. We've talked about that, right? Like, and people like to. That's a good way for people to get to know you too. Just show your hobbies and what you're doing. It's
I can show all my historical books too, but it's something that I love, and besides motorcycles too,
Well, tell us about the historical books. Now that intrigued me. I'm curious about that. What is that? You have a connection?
So before I moved out to Vegas, I went to Cal State University Fullerton and got a couple of degrees in history, and my master's degree focused on the Japanese American community in Orange County as a whole, with the centerpiece being a place in Huntington Beach called Wintersburg. And so I focused on community building within an ethnic group, being Japanese Americans. And it just kind of grew from there. So when I'm doing my thesis project, which was supposed to be an exhibition, museum exhibit highlighting all this information, my collegiate mentor, which was one of your 7-day challenges, had me start researching a topic that no one wanted to do for like 20 years. And that was basically California Indian economic progression. And so some of the books I have are diaries dealing with California Gold Rush and Overland Trail people.
Actual diary?
Basically.
Actual one?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little bit. I don't want to get up and
pick up the
phone, but I mean, it's okay. I have a few shelves with diaries and memoirs and just accounts of early California between basically 1824 to 1852. So it's that one era of California history that isn't really discussed much. It's either when Mexico owned that portion of California or when California became a state, and nothing in between. So that's some of the area I focused on. And another one was an actual raid, a horse raid that happened in 1840 from a guy named Pegleg Smith. And he came into Southern California and stole like thousands of horses and took them back out to a place called Bent's Fort out in Colorado. And then the rest of those horses he took back up to his trading post up in Idaho. So it's interesting stuff.
Where did you find those books? Those, where did you buy those from? Where did you find them?
Believe it or not, I got some of them off of eBay.
Okay.
eBay, Amazon, just searching basically. Used bookstores,
That's really cool.
private book collectors. So
yeah, I do. I love history. Here in Nevada, there's a spot. It's called Victoria. I think it's Victoria, something like that. It's an old mining town. They mined all the silver. That's why Vegas is the silver state. And it's this old mining town, and they still have a lot of the old buildings, and they had the first casinos and house of ill repute in the country back then, right? For all the miners, right? And to have a good time in town, and it's cool. I love history. I really, really do.
Yeah. It's kind of like going up north a little bit to a place called Goldfield. You know, it's a little gold mining town, and it was kind of highlighted on a program out here where some guys are on TV, and you may have heard of them, called Ghost Adventures. But they went up there and went around one of those big hotels out in Goldfield, and place was kind of weird. You know, all these old buildings from the 1900s, like 1901 or something like that, still standing, and people are still living around there. It's kind of intriguing, you know.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then there's other part. I've been to Astoria, Oregon. There's a spot, and it's called Astoria, Oregon, where the whole city burnt down and they built on top of it. There's other places too that's happened, and like they got tunnels underneath and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting how they do that. Yeah. But anyways, it's cool. Right? So we're just having a conversation here. I almost forgot we're alive. We're just talking about we're passionate about history and stuff. But hey, Thomas, this has been really cool. This is another example why I really love doing videos to get to know people. And it's been great getting to know you a little bit more, not just about what you do, like I said, about what we're passionate about, our fun, our hobbies. We talk about our families too much, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll have another opportunity to have you back on again as a guest. And before we wrap up here in a couple minutes, is there anything, closing thoughts you want to leave with everybody, and a way where people can effectively reach you?
Yeah. One area you can reach me is on our Facebook business page at Property Solution Systems. You can reach us there through Facebook Messenger. You can email us at info@propertysolutionssystems.com. We're pretty responsive with our emails and our chats. You can also join our community group, Property Solution Systems, as well, and join our group. And we're really active in there. So that's probably the best way to reach out to us if you have any real estate questions that you're experiencing right now, any solution or situations that you're experiencing. So awesome. Or if you have any questions on solar. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. So I know that you'll go back through the comments and say hello to everybody that was here, that was saying hi to you.
Definitely.
And just you could put the group links in the comments so people can click on it and get them if they're interested in joining your community. That would be really cool. And cool. This video was up on YouTube right now, #LiveMasters. So you can subscribe over there. We're on Live Masters TV on our page. And then, of course, we're streaming live into Live Masters, the group itself. I wanted to showcase Thomas on Live Masters TV Showcase, another challenge crusher in the books. This interview is also going to be up on our interview page on livemasterstv.com. You can go check out our website, and you'll see other interviews with other entrepreneurs who took the challenge and brought massive value, just like Thomas did today.
Definitely. Go do the challenge, folks. Go do it.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you on the next.
Thank you.